so much for standing and being here since yesterday till this moment. It's not an easy one. And like the name implies, African Volunteer Network and Leadership Institute. When they met me, I was like, okay, what are you into? So okay, fine. Revive Africa Initiative. When I looked at the name, I said to him, guy, this name is beyond you. You need people that can help you drive this. Because when you look at Revive Africa, yes, Africa, I don't like saying that Africa is backward. No. We have all it takes in terms of human resource, in terms of natural resource. Just name them. Africa, we've got what it takes to tune Africa and set Africa in the right perspective. But just that the leaders we have, are they myopic? No, they are not. Rather, they are self-centered. Self-centered in the sense that Nigerian leadership wouldn't want to benchmark or study what Nigerian government is doing. Even among the states, Delta states wouldn't want to understudy Anambra states. What are the best practices there that we can leverage on? Okay, Lagos states, what are you guys doing? What model do you have that we can work with and get our states moving forward? Everybody wants to do their thing independently. Now, can I ask us a question? How many of us here have an NGO? How many of us? Just be bold. I like to partner you, I want to network with you. How many of us? Or you are working with an NGO or serving with an NGO? Fine. Now let me tell you my story. I served 2009, 2010. But before service, I used to be the state secretary, Civil Society for HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, the state secretary for 4 years while I left for school. Before I left for what? For school. Then after school, when I came back, they said, okay, come and continue from where you stopped. Then after the 8 years, I said, okay, fine. I want to contest for the space of the state coordinator. The challenge I had was that I'm too young to lead people with gray hair. I gave my manifesto. The lady that contested with me before then was supporting me. She even gave me money for a charge card. But on that day, she said she wants to contest. Miracle, they call me Miracle. Miracle, come and be my deputy. I said, no, I can't. I want to contest. If I lose, no problem. She had nothing, no direction. So I gave my manifesto. At the end of the day, she was like Miracle said. Like Miracle said. At the end of the day, she won. Fine and good. And I said, I will stop coming for meetings. And that is how it ended. I don't know how the organization is going now. But one thing that comes to mind is this. Some of the speakers that are spoken before now said vision. Common what? Common vision. How many of us here that are working with an NGO can tell me the vision of your organization? What's the vision of your organization? Can you tell me?
The vision of our NGO is to reorientate the minds of teens and kids, especially through purposive values, giving them the right values through teaching, modeling, and mentoring.
All right. Now it's more like a vision statement, a mission statement. When I got to Abuja, my friend got sponsorship. So I said, okay, please, can I stay with you? She stayed in Rockview. So she shared her apartment, more like a suite. Those ones that have parlor and room. So the girl she shared the apartment with, the girl is from Zambia, I think so. So I now pleaded with them, now allowed me to sleep in a small panel on top of the chair or the couch, whatever I call it. So when I got to the center where the event was holding, I saw a young person, Emmanuel Etim. I don't know how many of us that knows Emmanuel Etim. Yes. He contested for presidency in the last election. When I saw Emmanuel Etim speak, I was like, how old is Emmanuel Etim? And how old am I? He said, if this guy can be the man, in fact, everybody was looking out for Emmanuel Etim. Passenger, everybody were looking out for the guy. It was like, what is this guy up to? What is this stuff? That made me, I have to tie my small clothes in a nylon bag. I used my bag to pack books because they were free exhibition and all of that. So when I got back home, I started reading. My mom was like, do you have an exam to write? I said, no. I read. I understood development work and how these things can transform not just your life, but your society also. Sometimes it's not just about the money. It's about lifting somebody. It's about seeing somebody happy. When you look at the money development, you won't do development work. So after that, I understood more about development. I decided to float an NGO called Crusade Plus. It was never registered. Now, Crusade Plus, based on my experience in Abuja, I had no place to eat. So I met a friend, Zainab, though late, positive. So we got talking and all of that. She said, wow, how are you surviving? I shared my story. Even my friend that squatted me never for one day asked me, how are you managing in Abuja? Because she knew I had no sponsorship. So Zainab now said, okay, fine, I'm going to do something. I'm going to take my blood sample. I'm going to run a test. I'm going to give you a ticket. I never understood what was happening. So she took her blood sample. She ran a test in my name. They now gave me a tag, PLB tag. They had a boot camp. In that boot camp, feeding is free. Eat whatever you want to eat. Pack as much as you want to pack. I never knew my name is coming to Delta as a patient. No, I'm telling you my real life story. I never knew that my name is coming back to Delta State as a patient. So when I came back, the people I was relating with, I saw like people that would have hugged me normally, they were not greeting me from afar. I was like, what is happening? My friend was like, guy, I see your name. I see your name. We saw you now, we saw you there where you were eating from, you know. I felt so bad, but that never stopped me. That never stopped me. So that's what motivated me to register Create Plus. Create Plus was positive persons, where we have meetings, support group meetings, we talk to them and all of that. And when you look at my contact then, 2 out of 3, or 3 out of 5 were PLPs. Because I was so comfortable, I said, okay, fine, since I did positive. Oh, well, I'm not going to contest anything with anybody. I was going for their meetings and all of that. But a lot of them knew that I was not. Because when I came back, I said, okay, fine. For me to exonerate myself from SACA, that I'm not positive, I have to run another test, which I did. And I gave to them. They now knew that, yes, this is one. I explained to them what's happening in Abuja. But a lot of them never wanted to believe. I'm telling you my journey when it comes to volunteer service. A lot of us doesn't want to volunteer because there's no immediate gain. But when we all think Africa as a project, take Africa as a project. Now that's Africa. I don't want you to think about the bigger Africa. Think about your community as your Africa. Now what are you going to do? What is your role and responsibility in making sure that your community is benefiting as they should? That your community has a roadmap. That your community understands what it is to give back. Now, let me tell you something that I would like us to do at the end of this event. What I would like us to do is this. When you get back to your community, there's what we call rural appraisal, participatory rural appraisal. It's another area we don't want to go into now. You have to take your community, look at your community, ask yourself, what are the limiting factors? What are the problems that my community is facing? Economic problems, social problems, political. Let me give you the best model. Political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. When you're able to address these issues, if we're able to address our community needs, our community problems, using the best model, it's going to help us to understand broadly what we ought to do when it comes to our program design. Because NGO, what are you supposed to do? You serve as the middleman between the people and the government to solve societal issues. Look at your community now. Is your community the dream community you want to see? If it is not, take that responsibility. Now you are the change maker. You have a vision. Like my sister now, she was able to tell us her vision. And you can see the passion in her vision that made her, even when she was being maltreated, she never dropped that passion. She never dropped that vision. Now, when you look at theory of change is the roadmap that takes you from point A to point B. What is that change I want to see? Now, in my community, there is no good road. There is no hospital. I'm giving an example. Now, people are suffering. The farmers cannot be able to transport their produce from the farm to the market, which is leading to perishable goods. They are spoiling on the farm road. A lot of people cannot be able to go to their farm because of security, herdsmen, and all of that. These are issues. Children are dropping out of school, especially the girl child, because of a lot of responsibility on the girl child. They have to go to farm. A lot of them, once they started developing all those, bulbs on their chest, say it's time for you to work, to get married. All these issues, they are issues in our communities. Today, genital mutilation and all of that, they are issues in our communities. Now, what do I want to do? What life do I see? The life you want to see in a particular area will help you to craft your vision. Most times, visions are way too much. You cannot be able on your own to actualize them. They are beyond you. Most visions are beyond you. So, you craft your vision statement. Your mission is your vehicle that helps you to go to your vision. How do you want to get to that vision? What are those things you need to do? That's where you see some visions say, true. You see true. You see some languages like by in your vision, in your mission statement. They are your vehicle that drives you to your vision. So by the time you're able to develop your vision statement, your mission statement, you're able to come up with what activity do I want to do. I can't handle all issues in that community. I want to take on A, B, C, D, because there are issues that are peculiar. They affect both men, women, youth, and the children. These are areas I want to dwell on. Then after that, your activity, now so what are my strategic approach to address this issue? What programs do I need to come up with? What interventions do I need to come up with in order to address these issues that I mentioned? So that is where theory of change now comes in. Theory of change tells you, fine, these are the baseline, these are the problems. These are the desired outcomes. These are desired change I want to see in the life of the people. Based on these present circumstances, this is what I want to see happen in the life of the people. Now, theory of change also is a powerful tool that can be used to communicate all of this plan to your stakeholders. It can also help you to communicate all of these plans to the community you are serving. It also helps you to develop a good M1E system. M1E has to do with what? Monitoring and what? Evaluation. When you were talking, I was asking you a question. How do you select a community? Do you select them randomly and all of that? M1E helps you to tell, okay, fine. Based on the needs assessment we've done, this community is suffering more. This community needs issue more than the other community. The other community, they are in the urban. This community is in the rural. It helps you to do a proper selection of how to go around your intervention program. That is what M1E helps you to achieve. Also, it tells you what change has happened, theory of change. It tells you what change has happened in the life of those people and at what degree did this change occur? At what point did this change happen? And it helps you to tell more. This change that has happened, what can we do to sustain this change so that people don't relapse? My sister that is into environmental, now you go to a particular community, you're able to clean up the community. And after that, as you leave, I want to go give the company, drop more than you go still go back, go pick and again. As they come out, one auntie, they carry another, they still drop. What you need to do is not just to go and do environmental cleanup. You have to change that behavior. If you don't change that behavior, you are going to burn out so fast. So you need to talk to them. Are we together? Yes. It's not just about intervention. It's about studying the people, studying their pattern, their behavioral pattern. I'm going to be sharing with us a template, a generic one, that you can use for your different programs to report some of your activities. That is documentation. For each activity, you must document. When I was a volunteer, I was meant, why they were sending me to those programs, I told you that's the benefit I got, was because of reports. Because they know that even before I come back to the office, I've written my reports. While the program is ending, they are getting my reports. Now, for your video coverage, some persons don't like it, but you make them know that from onset, please, I need to document this. This is the evidence that shows that this activity happened.